Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Flooding across eastern Kentucky left some without a home and countless days of cleanup ahead. WYMT's Emily Bennett was in Laurel County tonight and spoke to some of those who are left with nothing. She begins our top story team coverage.
I worked hard for this house and see it all go up in the water there. It hurt.
For recovering addict Shawn Ostering, this was supposed to be his forever home.
4 years down the drain, I guess.
Water rose quickly Sunday night, flowing into his house early Monday morning.
Now half inch.
Rushing through his home, destroying everything.
I sat down in there in the floodwaters and just cried. You know, it sucks.
Ostering worked hard to buy this house for his wife and daughter.
I literally just done that rock. It's like $1,000 worth of rock.
Recently finishing several projects and a fresh coat of paint.
That's what got me so upset, man, seeing all this work going away.
Now faced with rebuilding everything.
This could put a hold on all my plans.
Just up the road, Michaela Robinson and her family were also flooded.
My aunt and uncles lived here for 40 years and they've not ever seen it like that.
Her house saved from the flood waters, but the houses of her family were not.
It's stuff that can't be replaced, you know.
Now waiting for the water to recede to figure out the next step.
It's going to take time for everybody to rebuild everything that they have. And some may not be able to rebuild, may have to move on. We just have to take one day at a time and see.
In Laurel County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Ostering does have flood insurance on his home. Robinson's family does not. This evening, 3 rounds of ice and snow. Now, widespread flooding. Today, Governor Beshear declared a state of emergency again. The National Guard is activated to help local officials with relief efforts. Tonight, our team is spread out across eastern Kentucky, giving us a small glimpse of the destruction left behind by floodwaters. Some homes were flooded, mudslides are threatening others, and even schools were caught in the crosshairs of Mother Nature. Tonight, we begin our coverage with WYMT's Emily Bennett, live in Laurel County. Emily?
Steve, yes, the sight here behind me is all too common across our region this evening. Many floodwaters are starting to recede, but it's a slow process here off of US 25 south of London. The home that you can see here behind me, it still has about 1 foot of water in it. Now, owner Shawn Ostering says the flood actually started Saturday night, but never reached his home. Last night, the water rose quickly, and by 4 a.m., it was covering the floors. His wife and daughter did leave the house before the flooding began. Right now, the water is about 5 feet deep in his backyard. Ostering says he's only lived here for 4 years, but neighbors say it has not flooded this bad since 1985. He believes everything inside is a complete loss.
It's devastating. It just hurts because we put so much work into it. You know, we just literally repainted the house and put rock up behind the TV. We've done a lot of work lately, and, you know, it sucks to see it go. Money-wise, it shouldn't be terrible. I'm blessed, you know. Family's important, and they're alive, and you know, God always finds a way, so.
Now, the good news is Ostering does have flood insurance, but he's just waiting on the call from the insurance company to see what his next steps will be. Now, the thing that he says hurts the most is he believed that this was his family's forever home. So just some devastating stories across the region tonight. Steve?
Yes, one of many. Emily, thank you very much. The London Laurel Rescue Squad. Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a major disaster to begin the month of March. Governor Beshear has declared a state of emergency after flash flooding and river flooding leaves destruction behind across the state. We're going to begin our team coverage with WYMT's Emily Bennett, who's live in Laurel County. Emily?
Steve, I'm on Court Road south of London near Levi Jackson Wilderness Road Park. Now, as you can see here behind me, the road is completely flooded. Now, look at these vehicles and these homes. They were completely covered in water. Now, the water has actually gone down a couple feet since this morning, so you can only imagine how high the water was on these homes. Now, the London Laurel Rescue Squad responded to calls all night last night. About 7 vehicles were stuck in Laurel County alone. Nathan Kirby with the rescue squad says the flooding saying is so bad it expanded their usual flood-prone areas. Now that it is daylight, they have not been called to car rescues, but Kirby is urging people to resist driving through water-covered roads as people underestimate the depth of the water. Last night, Kirby says some of the vehicles were hard to even reach.
If they're trapped in the vehicle, you have to break out their window, or you have to use extrication tools to open the door, separate that out, and pull them onto the boat. And obviously these people they may or may not be good swimmers. You have to work with them, make sure that they're safe and that our people are safe too.
Now here on Court Street, people are telling me that they've been here for more than 40 years and they've never seen the water get this high, just sometimes to the very last trailer, but never inside. I'm told that at the very end trailer there, it came up 4 feet into the home, but thankfully everyone was able to get out. Only material things were lost. But for now, I'm live in Laurel County. Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
And fortunately, we've heard of no deaths anywhere across the region. Certainly some good news. Emily, thank you very much. We understand Governor Andy